Hello there, my name is Misha. I'm a DevOps engineer from the Netherlands, and in this week's tutorial, we're going to explore the different note-taking tools and apps that are available. I'm going to explain to you which one I have chosen and why, and I'm basically going to tell you everything you need to know to make your informed decision. So if you haven't watched my previous video in this series, I recommend you do so. It fully explains the benefits of note-taking and how it can improve your career. And the link will be down below and somewhere in the screen, somewhere. So let's get started. When I started my note-taking journey, I was overwhelmed with all of the options available. And making decisions is one of the most draining tasks we can do as human beings. And I literally spent several hundred hours trying out these different tools, because if you like Google note-taking systems, note-taking apps, I mean, look at that. 10 best note-taking apps, 6 best note-taking apps. Like, how many apps are there, right? Note-taking apps. It's just so much information. And I've done the work. I've spent several hundred hours trying many tools, building systems into them, breaking them down. And I'm going to share with you everything I know about this so I can save you hundreds of hours if you just watch this video to the end. So what are we looking for in a note-taking system? Well, as you see, there is a wall of blog posts here. There are so many options, but let's actually get into what we need in a note-taking system. What are we actually looking for? So there are basically two categories of note-taking apps, in my opinion. So there are the simple ones, like Apple Notes, or these other applications where all you do is just create a note, you store it there, and that's it. You save it for later. You write your shopping list there. You do very simple tasks in there. It's just a collection of notes. Like my Google Drive with Google Docs on there. That's also a very simple note-taking note-taking tool. But there are also apps that go beyond. So those are more advanced. Let's, I won't write the whole word, but let's say advanced. And these are apps that go beyond storage. These are the apps that make it possible to create links between nodes, to visualize your notes, to have tags on your notes and pull them out. These are the apps that go beyond just making a note and storing it and saving it for later. And even though you can do incredible things with these simple apps like Apple Notes, there are people who build entire zettelkasten in Apple Notes. We want to build a system where we can store our notes, but we also need to be able to retrieve those notes with lightning speed. And like I said in the previous video, the ability to retrieve information from your system depends on the structure that you have and the ability to search, the ability to know where to look in your system, all of that. So you need to do this with intention. And you can do that in a simple app, but an advanced app is going to make that a lot easier for you because it has more advanced functionality. So what are we looking for in this advanced setup? We need several functions, and let me just switch to text here. Let's see. Yeah. So we need several functions. We need the ability to link nodes together. So we need to be able to indicate relationships between nodes. We need to be able to visualize how these nodes relate to each other. This is very important for thinking. And we will get into that in future videos or in my Zettelkasten course that is linked down below. We need the ability to link nodes. We need a good search functionality. We need the ability to search. We need the ability to visualize our links or nodes in some way. This is very important. Visualizing things activates different parts of your brain. And like, I'm not an artist. I don't see bright pictures when I close my eyes. But still, I utilize creating pictures and images to facilitate memory and to be able to memorize things more quickly. If you create a picture about something in your mind, you're much likely to remember it. Likewise, if you have the ability to visualize your notes in some way, to do visual things with your notes, that is actually going to improve your understanding and your thinking. This is why the Zettelkasten method is so incredibly effective, because originally you would have these paper index cards where you write on, and you put those in a box. And then when it comes to time to write an article, you can take all these cards out and put them on the table, and you can spread them around, and you can actually visually play with the ideas. You can visually put them together. You can visually put them in different orders and see how they relate to each other. This is super powerful in thinking. So we need the ability to visualize things. So we need to be able to link nodes somehow, search, visualize them. Next, we also need the ability to access our note-taking system from anywhere. So accessibility. And from portable devices. So ideally, we will be able to access our notes from our phone because, we are out and about, we're sitting on a bus, we want to make a note. Well, we want to have a system where we can access the notes that we already have or add a note there. Or when you're on holiday and you're walking in the mountains and you have this super important insight, you need to be able to capture that somehow. Now, as you are watching my channel and this playlist, there is also a very high likelihood that you are a Linux, DevOps, software engineer, interested kind of person who wants to learn more about working on the command line. Like, my channel is literally called Living on the Command Line. So as a command line focused engineer, there are some other requirements that we need to consider. We need to have locally available text files. That is something that we really need. And why? Well, because we want to we want the ability to open our text files in Vim or in whatever editor that you prefer. Like, obviously I'm a Vim guy, but if you have the text files on your machine, then you're in charge of those and you can modify your editing experience as you like it. So we want locally available text files. We want the ability to run scripts on those files. Very important. If you have thousands of files and you want to make a bulk update, you don't want to rely on some sort of external thing. No, you just write a script and do it. We want to, like I said, we want to use our preferred text editors. And then elite Vim crew reporting in. And we want to customize our editing and reading experience. So these external tools that we're going to go through, yes, you can customize your experience in there, but not to the degree where you can do things like, let's see, do I have a terminal open? Yeah. So if I go to my temp folder, and if I just create a hello.md markdown file, if I press space DD, then it's going to insert the date here, or space YT or space HY. This is going to insert a short code, and I just write the YouTube ID, and then it's going to embed a YouTube video on my blog. This kind of stuff, right? Or if this is a title that I write. If I do bang bang title, then it's going to run a Go program, a very simple Go program that I wrote, and take that line of text, feed it through the Go program, and replace this line in the editor with the program. This kind of stuff. You want to do you want to have some customized experience, right? As a command line engineer, you want to be able to create these little programs and do that for yourself. So those are the focus areas for command line focused engineers. So locally available text files, run scripts on the files, use preferred text editors, and customize our editing and reading experience. Now, what options do we have? Basically, what options did I try? Well, one of the first ones is Notion. Let's see. This is one of the most, most popular tools out there. And for a reason. It's a very, very good app. It is, you can see here, like entire companies are being run from Notion. Like, it's not that they use these companies. Well, these companies will use it, but there are entire companies that run all of their operations from Notion, project management, everything. So it's a very powerful place to start. You can start for free, but there are some problems with it. Well, I spent 8 months in Notion, and I built my first systems there. And like I said, it can be a good place to start because you have a lot of templates available. So you can access the templates library, and they're going to be like full, like writing, blogging templates, content calendars, or whatever, like project management templates. It can be very easy to start with those. And what's also really cool about Notion is that you can create databases. So you can create a database of notes, and then you can have another database, and you can link these databases with each other and create relations between them, and you can do really cool stuff. And I spent many an hour trying to come up with these insane project management systems, which are totally over-engineered for my sort of one-man show of studying and becoming an engineer. But still, it was cool. It was fun. You can do incredible things with it. But like I'm saying, it has a huge potential for distraction and tinkering and just distraction. So for this reason alone, I don't recommend Notion anymore. There's simply too much YouTube available around it too. There's too much productivity YouTube. Like all these big guys like Ali Abdaal, Tiago Forte. I think Forte doesn't use Notion, but they just enter Notion in YouTube, and there's just going to be so much potential for distraction. And you're going to fall into the same trap that I did, and that is that you start watching YouTube videos about note-taking instead of actually taking notes, instead of actually studying notes. So this whole video is trying to save you from that trap. But the main problem with Notion is that your files live in the cloud. When you access Notion, you log in, and then it's just a browser app, and everything is in the app. So there's no way to just go into the terminal and say and cd into a directory and interact with your notes. That it doesn't work that way. So all of your notes are always in the cloud. You can't run scripts on them. You can back them up as you like. You cannot open them in your favorite text editor, Vim. And there's also the issue where Notion employees can actually access your notes if they have some reason to do that. So I used to be very hard on privacy, not so much anymore, but still having my entire note-taking system, my Zettelkasten, my deepest secrets, all of that in a system in the cloud where employees can access it, maybe not. So next in the list, we have Evernote. Evernote. This is the one that Tiago Forte uses or used a lot in his book, Building a Second Brain. And Evernote is pretty cool because it combines note-taking with to-do and scheduling. So it is more of a second brain kind of type of app. And it's like, I actually never used Evernote. I considered it. Maybe I created an account, but again, here already we see that like Notion is free. You can do most things free, but if you want to collaborate, which you probably won't need for your own system, but then you have to pay. And here, Evernote probably has some paid stuff as well. Oh, here, pricing. Here, see, personal. So here, there are like limits to how many notes you can take. There's note size, etc. So it already has some pricing there too. Yeah, wow. So you can create up to 50 notes. Okay, well that's like I didn't even know that, but that's something to consider when you make your decision. My Zettelkasten is 3,100 notes, just so you know. So if you're looking for a tool that allows you to build a second brain, like I'm going to do a horrible attempt at drawing a brain here. So this is a brain. If you want a second brain, then you can consider Evernote. But the thing is, we are not building a second brain. We are building a note-taking system. And a second brain is a bigger concept that spans many more things. It spans like task management, it spans time management, emails, this kind of stuff. So a second brain is sort of the overarching workflow, not just note-taking. And I see note-taking as a part of the second brain, but it's a hugely important part. It's something that this is where you need to start with. You need to start with a good note-taking system. So there's a very important distinction here, like the note-taking system versus all of these other tools. And we're going to get into that later. I will speak about second brain, not in this video, but in the next playlist. This is going to, I'm going to show you my productivity system, but we are fully concerned with note-taking because that's the basis of everything. That's where we need to start. Next, there is Roam Research, Roam. And I briefly considered it. It looks like a very powerful tool. It has a great ecosystem. It allows linking of notes, visualization. So we are getting closer to our in our search for all of these requirements that we stated above. But Roam also didn't make the cut, because if we open Roam Research here, this looks really cool. You can create links, you can visualize them. Like, we are getting close in our requirements, but again, there is some pricing involved if you want all of the good stuff. And again, all of this lives in the cloud. There's no way to open this in Vim. And of course, that is really important. So, enter Obsidian. This is the tool to, this is like the horrible attempt at the Obsidian logo, which looks like this. Here. That's my attempt at the logo. Here we go. Maybe I can just copy it. Here. So, much better. So, enter Obsidian. Obsidian is what I arrived at after years of experimentation, years. Obsidian is the best tool because it literally ticks off all of these requirements that we have here. So Obsidian uses markdown files on our machine. They are stored locally. So if I go to my Zettelkasten, here you see like there's a ton of files here, but if I open it in Vim, and if I enter Zettelkasten, here there is, all of these are markdown files that are here in my note-taking system. This is my Obsidian Vault that I can open in Vim. So all of my files here are locally available on my machine. An Obsidian Vault, so in Obsidian there's this concept of a vault. So when you open Obsidian, you're opening a vault. And a vault is nothing more than a collection of markdown files. And Obsidian is a way to edit and visualize markdown files. But it also allows you to do very powerful things with your files. So if I, let's see, go out of this drawing, because I'm doing this within Obsidian, right? This is so cool. I'm drawing, but I also can access my notes here. So if I, let's see, let's create a new note, and this is just the demo. So you can link notes by doing double brackets. So like here, I'm linking to this drawing that I did. And maybe this reminds me of the Zettelkasten in Obsidian course that I created. I don't know. I'm just linking notes. This is how you can link notes. And if I then open the local graph here we see that these links now, they are, these nodes have now these links and they are visualized. So we can link nodes and visualize them. If you do this over several years diligently, and you always link nodes to other nodes, a graph emerges that's going to look like this. So my system is 3,100 nodes currently, like 3,148. You can see it down here in the bottom here. And this is my Obsidian graph now. All of these nodes, they are linked together somehow, and there are also a few nodes that are not linked yet. But what's powerful about this is that you can see these dots appear that have a lot of nodes. So here we see that this dot called school apparently is a very important thing in my note-taking system. Well, that's correct, because school is my passion project. Here there's another one, like this node was called CKS. This is weight loss. Like you can see, you can visually see elements in your note-taking system that are important to you. And sometimes this leads to surprises. Like if over time something, let's see, yeah, here. Like apparently this CKS node has received a lot of links, and apparently this has been or is a very important thing in my life. Well, it is. The Certified Kubernetes Security Expert was a big effort that I did. So this is one way of visualizing nodes. Another way is we can use Canvas. So let's see, we have the Zettelkasten course Canvas. Let's see, Settle Canvas. Here. This is a canvas that I created to create my Zettelkasten course. So I take all of these notes and I move them around and I put them in the right order. And this has been an extremely powerful way of structuring my own thoughts when creating this course. So I could move these around and think, well, this fits much better there, and this one doesn't fit here, so it should be moved over there. And it's super powerful to have the ability to play with your notes like this and create overviews. And then there's, of course, Excalidraw, where I can even do like let's see, insert any file. And let's see, can I insert Lumen as embeddable here? Yeah, so now I'm embedding this, oops. Now I'm embedding this node, like insert any file, Lumen as embeddable. So now I've embedded this file into this drawing, and I can start like attaching things, creating things, adding icons. This is also what I did in this massive drawing, in this video that I created with 160,000 views now about my whole NeoVim workflow. I used Excalidraw in Obsidian to visualize things. But okay, I'm getting a bit distracted with the visualization stuff. The point is across. This is very important. So we can visualize. Obsidian allows you Obsidian has great search functionality. So let's see. If you open this here, you can see that you can search for path, file, tags, sections. So it's really useful to find your nodes quickly with lightning speed. And it also allows you to sync nodes across all of your devices. So you can have the Obsidian app on your phone. You can open up your note-taking system. If you have Apple devices, you can use iCloud to sync your Vault between devices. So I store my Vault on my Mac. I can open it on my iPhone, and then Apple Sync handles the syncing between these devices. There's also Obsidian Sync. So say you are in a situation where you have a MacBook and you have a Linux laptop, and you want your nodes to be available at both. You can either use Git, Obsidian Git, and this is done, I show you this in my Obsidian 101 course, or you can use Obsidian Sync. This is a paid service. It's like, what is it? Obsidian Sync. It's like $5 a month or something. Here, $4 a month. I had this for like a year. It's a nice way to support the project because I haven't even said this, but Obsidian is completely for free. No pricing, no bullshit. You download the app and use it, and it's compatible with Vim. So we can search, we can link nodes, we can run scripts because we have all of our Markdown files available. We can use Vim with our Markdown files, and therefore we can customize our editing and reading experience. Everything is stored in Markdown files. We can do anything we want with our files. So my note-taking system is completely built as having Obsidian as the basis. Base Obsidian. And then have it fully compatible with Vim. And it's important because there are going to be situations where you are either going to have only access to the Obsidian app, for example, on your phone. Like it's possible to use Vim on an iPhone, but I don't recommend it. So there are situations where you only have Obsidian, or there are situations where you only have the command line. Well, if you choose this approach by taking the Obsidian Vault as the basis, as the overarching sort of framework for your note-taking system, this allows you to have a lot of flexibility and portability of your entire note-taking system. So I recommend use Obsidian, the concept of an Obsidian Vault, and keep it compatible with Vim and the other way around. Because there are also systems you can create with Vim only, but those are not necessarily going to be fully compatible with Obsidian. So, yes, this is super important because we stay in full control of our files. My entire Zettelkasten is almost 1 gig. And this also contains images, it contains some Excel files, everything is in there. But it's mostly Markdown files, 3,150 Markdown files. And I can do whatever I want with these files. This is just a directory on my system, and I can copy that and back it up to encrypt it and back it up to wherever I want. I can distribute it wherever I want. I back this up into Git, and I can pull it wherever I am. If I have my SSH key to my GitHub account, I can pull it in. I can have access to my notes wherever from the command line. I can run a container with my Zettelkasten in it. I containerized my Zettelkasten. So in this series, we are also going to be like writing, when we were learning Bash, one of the most fun things I did was to create Bash scripts to work with my Zettelkasten, to work with my note-taking system. So if you want to be following with my sort of tutorial journey into Linux, into containers, I highly, highly recommend you don't use Notion, but you use Obsidian with Markdown files. And we are going to be using Vim to interact with these files in combination with Obsidian. But we are going to be learning about note-taking in both Obsidian and Vim and how to edit those, how to run scripts on those. And it's just going to be a fun experience if you do it this way. And I'm not saying this because you necessarily need to join this playlist journey, but it is basically just what I arrived at after 2,000 hours of researching and practicing the Zettelkasten method, because that is what we are going to work towards, is to build a Zettelkasten in Vim/Obsidian like I have done in my course. So if you're interested in learning more about the Zettelkasten method, I highly recommend you either look into this course. It's already getting 5-star reviews and already have 24 students, getting a lot of positive feedback on that. Just yesterday, someone was shouting it out on LinkedIn, super nice. But there is also the Obsidian 101 course. And if you check out this course, this will show you it's a quick start. You get a full note-taking system in 1 hour. So it's super cheap. It's all you need to get started. It will implement the para method for you, and you can start taking notes today. Because that's the most important thing here, guys. Stop watching videos, stop researching, just use Obsidian and start taking notes. That's the most important thing. So this course is my life's work. It's 2,000 hours condensed in 2 hours. And this is also a good course. But if the best value, honestly, is just to join my school community, because if you join my school community, then you are going to get unlimited access to all of my courses. It's currently $29. There's a price increase coming soon. And it's $29 a month. It's less than $1 a day. And then you get unlimited access to all of my courses about Vim, NeoVim, my entire .files walkthrough, my Kubernetes fundamentals course. Everything is in here, including the 2 courses that I just showed you about note-taking. And there is a community of people, of fellow note-takers who are there to help you, myself included. And there is already like 540 pages of knowledge here that you can search by searching Obsidian, for example. You can get all of the posts on Obsidian here. And also we have weekly Q&A calls 3 times a week. There is a 1-hour call with me and the community where you have the ability to ask questions. And every day we have a study hall of few hours where you can gather and take notes together and work on your certifications. So that was it for this video. In conclusion, use Obsidian, start taking notes today, have it compatible with Vim in Markdown files. And in the next video, we're going to look into how to actually start taking notes and which methods we can use for taking notes in our Obsidian Vault. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.